listen to that remix! You know, I was looking for Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney music to use for the starting soon screen. And I just got super nostalgic. I originally had plans to stream that game until the Great Ace Attorney 1 fan translation came out. Imagine what could have been if they just, delayed their release a few more months. Man, I do absolutely intend to play that game on stream someday. But for now, we just have to enjoy this music. Welcome back, everybody, to the Great Ace Attorney 2. Resolve! You don't see it, but I'm currently doing like the Italian style gesture fingers to really like hammer it in how great this game has been. And we're on case number 3 right now. We just finished case number 2 with an epic trial, and you guys have to have been there. Go watch it if you didn't, because it made me feel. It was an emotional roller coaster. And I don't know what's in store. Because the last case was a flashback. We're back in modern day, I assume. Modern, quote unquote. As in like still 1800s, but now current time. And what's next for Naruhodo? We'll just have to see. Let's go! Episode 3. The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Wait. Zombies? Spirit mediums? An Ace Attorney never! Oh yeah! Oh, look at that! Look at that giant megaphone. You gonna blast some tunes?
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it.
I heard of it.
Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park.
I like the scribbly text, the cursive.
Over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century.
Better lived up to its name, because this has been teased for the entirety of the 2 games.
Nations, and ended on a note of resounding success.
Scribbly text cursive, but I remembered it eventually.
As regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few were aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter.
Oh?
For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
He killed the Monopoly Man!
And the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
I love this guy's voice already. Oh wow, I'm controlling this. Let me just say that big megaphone thing reminded me of Splatoon 2. And considering that's in front of, like, the Crystal Tower, maybe this is, like, the basis for Splatoon 3. Whatever Herlock Sholmes does, he, like, turns that thing up to 11 and destroys the entirety of England. Oops! Cue squid music.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Hey, 3D, who are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
I can't see it. You look like a Pokemon character. Like if, what's his name, Barry? I think it was Barry. He grew up and became a scientist.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies.
Oh.
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future.
What unbelievable sights shall they behold? 3D printers, flying cars. Also, welcome on in, everybody coming in during my spiel. Tay3290, welcome. Sartro, 1900s World Fair was held in Paris. Could be why they're making this big old Crystal Tower. This game doesn't explicitly take place in any year, but I think it takes place before the year 1900, though. Like, I think in development they gave, like, 1897, but then it's, like, floating timeline. Worst case, let's say alternate timeline. Also, American Online, welcome on in.
A world first! A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine!
That sounds like a mouthful. What does it do? Kinesis machine. It just moves?
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high-voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
Oh. Teleporter.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
I don't like that. I hope you worked really hard on that second part. I hope you really worked hard on that second part. Or else you've just disintegrated a man. You know, it's like that episode of Star Trek where, like, Riker accidentally gets duplicated by the teleporter and, like, he gets left behind for 8 years, but actually he teleported back to the ship for 8 years, and now there's just 2 of them. Actually, let's do that. Let's make 2 Herlock Sholmeses. Actually, that sounds terrible. We're just doubling this guy instead. That's fine. Who are you? Eggs Benedict's father?
In but a few moments from now, these gentlemen will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
I hope no birds get in the way. Oh. Alright, who trusted this guy? I don't know. I've had bad experiences with teleporters in games. Y'all heard of Half-Life 2? Still have nightmares about what happened to that cat. Shut it down. Attempting shutdown. It's not shutting down. No! Alright, when do we bring in the head crabs? Definitely alternate timeline. We've brought ruin upon England. 22nd of October, 9:36 a.m. Sholmes' Suite. Mark the date. How can we be drinking tea at a time like this? Are you here to serve me some tea, Iris?
Bruno, are you listening?
Hard to hear you over the sound of I don't know, explosions. Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Don't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
Is it more bacon? No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Oh, yes. The Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. We missed it, didn't we? October 22nd, don't forget.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down.
Oh, well, thank you for noticing, Iris. She does care.
Don't you agree, Hurley?
Oh. I guess we all got a case of the blues today. Oh, look at him! Oh? Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Oh! Ah! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruto? I've been here? I've been here for about half an hour already. We've had breakfast together. Oh, I knew someone was stealing my eggs. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because eggs, breakfast, Egg Benedict. This has to be after the whole thing with Egg Benedict, isn't it? Yeah, because this is back in the modern, quote unquote, modern day. Oh, that name! I never want to eat another egg. So shall I live? Fine, more for me. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. Well, yes, I do need to edit my text files on Linux-based systems. No one's gonna get that joke. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. And vim also means vigor, energy. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Egg's father murdered long ago. let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. What's wrong with spikes? I'm going to pass them down for generations, and they're going to get even spikier. Watch, by the time I have a great-great-great-great-grandson, he's going to be a literal hedgehog. Origin story for Sonic the Hedgehog confirmed. Clearly, it can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Back to his old self, I see. You know, of course, right before Sonic the Hedgehog is born, his parents will look like hedgehogs in human form. So, basically, what I'm saying is Phoenix Wright is Sonic's dad. Go write a fanfiction about that, but don't, because I'm sure it already exists. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. Wow, happy half an anniversary.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. Oh, not happy half anniversary. So I've been wondering how much longer I've been going to be banned. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum.
Sorry, I just had one too many eggs.
Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes lately? Herlock with no deductions, no cases. He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know! And the great exhibition is open! You'd think he'd be excited! Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from? Is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
Herlock Sholmes is always on the case. Right now he's working on the case of the missing eggs. I told you, Herlock, I ate them. Well, case solved. Now the next case. What am I going to eat for breakfast? I asked you if you wanted any, man. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Let's see. But first of all, very important. The only thing in my inventory. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh! Not another word. Ah, yes, I see. You didn't even get milk for breakfast? Oh. That would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck, and for winter use. I mean, as much as it would look adorable on little Dasha, and I don't think so. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely! Which leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is in fact the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I mean, you're always using it to point. Might as well be one of those hunting dogs that point. And whenever you bark objection, oh, it sounds just like a dog. Now you're stretching. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. Alright, well, let's do something a little bit more productive after we see if there's anything new. Would there even be any new dialogue? I'm gonna look at a couple of things, unless anybody happens to know.
I can type in my eyes shut, you know.
I can believe it. When the deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun. I think we've read this one already.
That reminds me of a dream I've had the other day. It's such a funny one, it woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour.
Yeah, okay.
But then there was no paper.
Ooh, spooky! Yeah, I'm assuming nothing's different. I do wish Suzette was here, though. I miss her already. 6 months ago. Board in the back always has something to say. Alright, we'll get that one next. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in trial, heard at the Old Bailey. Was it Gina Lestrade? I don't remember. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery. Yeah, I think it was Gina. Turns out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. That trial was crazy. I'll let the game summarize it, but geez, so many, like, revelations from, you know, frickin' Magnus McGilded and Egg Benedict and all these secrets and whatnot. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake.
Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. My right to resent people, however, stayed. And now I just resent everybody. Ugh. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. Sounds like a fancy way of saying, just keep yourself busy.
You have, haven't you, Bruno?
Flashback, back. He was wearing the costume in the flashback, wasn't he? Hey, wait a minute. The DLC specifically said I can only use this costume in the second game. Time paradox.
Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Shelm's old cases.
Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me.
Fetching bread? Where? The bakery?
You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo.
I'm not supposed to. At least pay me, man. I will not be reduced to servitude. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Just start praying for a change. Specifically, Lord Strongheart, as the British Supreme Court of Whitehall. Lord Strongheart, that was the dude we met once, right? Like, at the very first time we went to England, and there was the dude in, like, the big old room with the birds, and I gave him, like, the deepest voice I possibly could. Oh, I gotta prepare my throat for that one.
Lord Strongheart!
Strong fart. The delightful Lord Chief Justice. No, my favorite fellow.
Why not, Mr. Sholmes?
Because he just smells so strong. Like that of a fart.
He's not mine either. But he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here. Ooh. Let me ruminate on that a little bit. He's the only one that can help us, huh? I wonder why we haven't talked to him sooner then. You do enjoy his new pipe. Oh, I guess I haven't seen it in this new costume, huh? Ah, yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle? Why is it always some sort of colored gemstone? Are you just collecting the Chaos Emeralds? You mean this Chaos Emerald?
Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley sold ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top.
Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, huh?
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, I think we read this one too. Alright, well... Fun. Unless you mean this board? Different pieces of evidence. Does Resolve have any bonus escapades? As far as I can tell, there's only escapades for the first game, unfortunately. I ended up hearing that they were actually included as part of the first game as DLC, which is why I never heard of them when I played it. I didn't see any, so I don't think there are any new ones. Hurley forgets. He forgets.
The other day, for example, he saw the orange pips that were here and decided to plant them in the garden.
Pips? Seeds? Evidence?
Yes, they've all sprouted now. We have 5 new little plants.
Well, I don't know what case they were from, but if Mr. Schultz can get oranges to grow outside in England, he should change his profession.
Especially what time of the year is it? Is it still winter? I hope not. I wouldn't put it past Sholmes to plant seeds in the middle of winter and somehow still have them grow, though. Find out my Harvest Moon, you gotta have a greenhouse for one of those.
The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. Why, I just saw an engineer there the other day. He smacked this turret thing with a wrench and he said, "Teleporter going up." Which is weird because it wasn't a teleporter, it was a turret. Yeehaw! Nope. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching.
Who has a science fair in the winter? Snowman. Scientific snowman.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Is there a button that hides the dialogue box? Because I just want to see Iris doing this cute little, oh, look at her. Dangerously adorable.
Look down on? Do you mean those things? Fly?
You never been in a hot air balloon? It's absolutely wonderful. You go up there with Iris and Sholmes, and then they'll give you a little tour. Or, you know, like the hot air balloon from Dragon Quest IV. We'll just go over to the World Tree and get the Zenithian sword.
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky. You don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
Oh, well, just bring Sholmes on board and we'll never land.
He's following. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. I can't.
Just accept it, Bruno. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first.
Two DLC Case of Resolve is 3DS only. I'm not sure. I'm not aware of DLC. This is the first time I'm playing Resolve. If there's DLC, I'm hoping it's included in here. I wouldn't think they'd just drop it.
But in 100 years' time, all those things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion.
Why isn't that making bigger news? I guess it might be, but, you know, this is when people had to read the news in the paper. Would that engineer be relaxing on a makeshift recliner and belching? Only if you picked up the item from the loot crates, you know. Goku beat Bravely Default 2, congratulations! Says the innocent 10-year-old girl.
See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the great exhibition.
He got totally vaporized. I'm sure he's fine. We just have to collect him all, atom by atom, and reassemble them. We may be missing a couple, but yeah, he'll probably be 98% there. Like, what? If you were scattered to the air, to the ether, and had to be reassembled at the other end of the teleporter, how much percentage do you think could go wrong? Like, straight up missing pieces or missing particles before, like, you know, you could probably survive. Like, what do you think, 90%? Like, missing, like, as long as you have most of your brain, maybe you're just missing, like, a little blood, it's fine. Your bone marrow will make more.
But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them.
Would you even still be the same? That's the question, is it? To be or not to be? We already finished the William Shakespeare case. Can we... Maybe this one will be based on Monopoly.
Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere.
Darkness.
Sholmes out here inventing emo before, 200 years before it was popular. 200 years, 100 years. Great exhibition. World-leading science. 200%. Oh, you need to copy yourself just to make sure. I was talking about that. There's an episode of Star Trek, literally, where somebody gets copied accidentally because of a freak teleporter accident. And, like, according to all biological scans possible, both people are the same. Like, they're both indubitably 100% the same person. But also, that leads into questions like, while you're just floating around waiting to rematerialize, like, you gotta be stored somewhere. Is that also you? Or is that just the instructions to make you? Did your consciousness die at the moment that you got disintegrated, and what is made is just a shallow copy? Heck, even Doctor Who has a thing about that. Where the Doctor cooks up this plan that, like, he realizes that he just teleported in somewhere, but really, he's been in a loop for billions and billions of years. And each time he copies himself, they get a little bit further into punching through this wall that seems impenetrable. It is a fantastic episode. Even if you don't have any prior knowledge of Doctor Who, go look it up. I think it's called Heaven Sent. Yeah. Shadows cast behind? Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? I believe it. So, what's got you in the funk, Hurley? You think if he kept his original name, Iris would call him Shirley?
Surely you jest.
Too much thinking. Let's not think about teleporting. Sprint's got his Liquid Metal 2DS coming. Ooh, enjoy it. Hope you do. Show me pictures later.
Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Richer.
Is that his new pipe? It looks pretty fancy. Also looks like... Oh yeah, it looks like one of those Japanese smoking pipes. I like it. Nothing more to add?
That's not like you.
He's hiding something.
What? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. What sort of cases... We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
Me?
Yes, you, Iris. You can't listen. This is for grown-ups only.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah.
Oh, is it about the case of the belted bee? May or may not be Baroque Fanzix's.
I told you never to talk about that again.
Well, you seem to not want to tell me anything. I can only help but conjecture.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Ship of Theseus. Age-old question, yeah.
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. How dare you appear smarter than me? You are but 10 years old.
And Sholmes has the emotional maturity of a 10 years old, so, you know, it all balances out. No, he's a deeper guy than you expect to see at first glance. He's just a little odd. He just keeps chickens running around. Are they pets? No, they're roommates.
Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions.
Do you say that? You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene.
Crime? The teleporter? That was a deep sigh. I'm sorry, I gotta make that deeper.
You done? Yes, it helped a little bit. I'm 12% better.
Well, that's everything. Oh, let's check the paper.
London News, Daily Record of the British Empire. Ooh, does it say a date? 1834?
1854? Assuming that it's correct, then this game does take place in the 1800s and not 19-something. But You know, that smudge could be a 9. It's really hard to tell. Hey, that's the guy that invented the teleporter. You're that engineer. The case of the cringy clown. Oh, that's just Ace Attorney Justice for All case number 2. London, Britain, the Industrial Revolution. Let's actually read this thing. 10 pages for a penny, what a deal. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. Oh wow, nothing like the news these days. We must all go to see it properly before too long. What about the back? Lost cat! Is that Wagahai? Is that even a cat? I can't, that doesn't look, this looks like a Rorschach test. Lost cat. You have my information. Please contact if. 1. Hollowed family is disappointed among us. 2. Fish of April Co. Alright. The Reaper attack. The Reaper attack? What? Baroque? What happened here? Lord Van Zeeks and compatriot cornered. What? Among Us! So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Naruhodo, read the thing about the Reaper? Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is. Wait. What?
What's the matter, Reno?
What? The Reaper attacked? That's Lord Van Zeeks! This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about! Does he know any more, I wonder? Oh! Wait, I gotta look at more at this paper while I can. King Charlatan VIII reverses ruling, awards prize to Mitchell's. Gyakuten Saibon. You know what's that's what that means. Mitsofiactive. St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Public Health Services, Public Health Report. D. Sir Leon Cypher's Bombing Burger. Flurry Ball Gown sells Duber Mall Ambulance. Yes. I gotta see if this is the texture they used for the original, like, Japanese version, or how much of it has been retextured for English. Surprisingly, I was looking at a lot of the textures of the first game, and they kept a lot the way it was. So maybe this is just what it was in the Japanese version, and it's just a bunch of text that was thrown together by the Japanese writer team. Eyes in the world are on the Crystal Tower, Pride of London, and the extraterrestrial feat of unparalleled beauty. Wow. I mean, it is pretty beautiful. Besides the fact that somebody just died. Whew. Alright, Hurley, what do you know? Tell me everything. Spill the beans! The beans on toast! The Reaper attacked. Who's the accomplice, I wonder? He does use his sword to fight. Who uses his sword? Baroque? Brock from Pokemon?
Jelly Donut!
It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible! Isn't it? I mean, the man in the back of the picture was Baroque. We don't know who the person in front was. He was wearing a mask.
You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact.
Yes. Prosecutor Baroque Van Zeeks. If it had flashback to his leg, I swear. They say that if the Reaper was the prosecutor of the case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. I still can't believe. Who was watching the courtroom and allowed literal fire to happen in the omnibus? Like, the bailiffs clearly were slacking off. I forget, were they like chasing somebody at the time? That's probably it. Once the Reaper had someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. One way or another, they're gonna die. They're gonna die. Bailiffs are paid off, eh? Well, corruption.
London's finest rogues always find ways around the law.
You calling him fine, huh?
They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses. Like a certain William Shamspeare. Threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper.
Power of money, eh? And if there's anything Magnus McGilded has, it's money.
Has you experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruto?
Mars 13, welcome. Wasn't it mentioned in the final case of Game 1? Well, here's the thing. I forgot. I forgot the final case of Game 1. I haven't played it in 2 years. I played it in the fan translation, and my memory is so terrible, I can't even remember games I played 5 months ago. So, if it's something that was revealed during the first game, feel free to remind me.
Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternities seem to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels.
So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked just like this before? This is the first time? No wonder it's back page news. Hold on, let me look at that picture again. Yeah, I'm thinking that's Baroque, and we're supposed to not know who this is yet because the mask. So, I don't know. My money's on Sholmes. Water, hydrate. Thank you, Tactical Clam.
Ah.
The final culprit guy in case 5 wanted revenge, and McGilded paid off the bailiff, called McGilded into the mines fire. Okay. So that explains it. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me.
He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. Have you seen him with a pistol? He can wield 3 guns at once. 2 in his hands, 1 in his mouth.
How does he pull the trigger?
Oh, well, you know. He has a way with his tongue, in ways outside of his speech. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. What?
1800, 19th century guns? Oh my goodness! Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? No bang bang!
My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Don't say that with a smile.
We gotta go see him in hospital.
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
You can't... Yeah, okay, that's oddly responsible of the paper, actually. They're probably waiting to see if he stabilizes by then. I hope he does. He better. Dude, it's just gonna be like Case 4 of Game 1, well, Ace Attorney Game 1. Frickin' Van Zieks is gonna be defendant, I'm supposing.
It's like, no, I swear, I was in a boat and I picked up the gun due to
Oh, wait, that's not Van Zieks' voice.
I was in the boat and I picked up the gun due to shock and it was almost Christmas.
But Van Zieks, it's October.
Yes, but it was almost Christmas. That means it wasn't Christmas.
All right. Larry Butts justifies hundreds of years ago.
Ooh, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait until tomorrow. In that case, you shall have to inquire with someone in the know.
But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Oh, good thing I'm going there already. Jeez. Who could replace Van Zieks? I wonder. Finally, actually. Because it's usually Ace Attorney tradition to have a different prosecutor for the last few cases. So, like, because we had Baroque Van Zieks for the whole time of Game 1. Well, besides Ouchie. We don't count Ouchie. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. For reals?
Ha! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow.
Lies? What?
You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time.
The thought hadn't crossed my mind. But now I'm wondering where you're going. Now I will follow you.
Well then, see you later indeed.
I'm sure we'll find him skulking about in a window. He'll be following us. We don't need to look for him. That's how it is. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door. What? Wait. Is this nice Mickey Mouse outfit? We're going to Disneyland? You look adorable, Iris. Is this what you look like in this game? Wait, like when you're all ready to go. I guess we haven't seen her in her go-getter outfit yet. Look at that, it just looks exactly like Mickey Mouse. Man, they were worried about getting sued by the Conan Doyle estate. They forgot to think about Disney.
All right then, Rito. Let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got chains to go to the great exhibition. You're going to take me. I need to get this hat embroidered with my name on it.
You'll ever do that before? Go to Disneyland and or World and get the hats with your name in it. They used to do that by hand, like in the middle of the park. Now it's just like a machine in the back of the shops. It's not as fun. What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then. I swear, if you don't take me there, I'll shoot.
Iris? All right, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you? Lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the great exhibition.
Ugh, held at gunpoint by a 10-year-old girl. Never thought I'd see the day. This is just one of those games, eh? Lord Chief Justice's office. Let me just prepare the voice I gave him. You know, I had expected to do it a lot more. Also, what I should be doing, that I've been neglecting to this whole time, I should be saving as I go, just in case. Because that's bitten me a couple of times. I keep missing out on optional dialogue. Examine! No, I mean move. Examine my movement options. Lord Chief Justice!
Take me on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, or I'm going to pop a cap in that ass.
Whoa! Where did you learn that language?
Mr. Sholmes?
Well, I'm gonna have a stern talking with him. It turns out he just really likes to associate people with donkeys. Yeah, donkey. 22nd October, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. If hypothetically we got a new prosecutor, who'd I expect? I don't know, like Edgeworth's great-great-great-great-great-grandpa.
Like Edgeworthington the First. First in a long, long line of Edgeworthingtons.
Beef Wellingtons. No, that was a different guy. That's the guy from Game 2. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. It does... Oh, hi, Iris. It do be looking like a Castlevania level, though. The clock towers, they always have. Going to Disney signs. When I was a kid in elementary school, I think it might have been middle school, actually, we went on a field trip to some sort of Disney engineering workshop place. And it was really cool. We got to, like, see how they do a lot of the Imagineering stuff. Like, we saw, like, the robots they were building for Disneyland. We saw, like, animation cells and how they work and all that kind of cool stuff. I wonder if they still kind of do that stuff. Iris would love to go. It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Oh, yes, like past cases of murder and mystery. Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. Just me and Susato. And she was not wearing that outfit. That's not physically possible. We didn't even meet Sholmes. No, we did. We met Sholmes on the boat. On the boat. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Oh, wait, no. I forgot. We went here once more. Forgive me. I remember nothing about the first game at all.
Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me.
Mr. Chief Man, love that beard. As always, you've been keeping it kempt? Oh, look at that. Not a single hair astray. Wow, I would not want to get on this dude's bad side. He looks even more menacing in HD. Lord Strongheart, I trust you've been keeping well? Is Strongheart gonna be the prosecutor? Oh no. Oh no.
Let's see. Since you've arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies.
Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
Good to know.
Good to know. That doesn't appear to bother him at all. If it helps him seem less menacing, he looks like a unicorn. Wow. No, unicorns are menacing. You ever seen Gundam? Male Strongheart. Male? Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. He looks like a gym leader, except in steampunk attire. So basically from Galar, right? He's how the gym leaders in Galar should have looked. Like, get out of here with looking like you're wearing soccer uniforms. Well, that was cool, but like, for every single gym, I'm not sure. I would have loved if someone had a soccer uniform, but like, with all of this fancy coat business on top of it, you know? You could still tell it was a jersey with like the number on the back, but it's got like the shoulder coat and the cravat slash jabot. Like everything. I just noticed that his little ascot also looks like a hands of a clock. Makes sense. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. Fancy man soccer.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium.
Oh, I've not heard about that.
Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land.
Wow.
Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it.
I believe it. I believe it, sir. Yay! Yeah!
Okay, you don't have to applaud just because I said it. Don't be so daft. I'm not that intimidating.
You are. You kind of are, sir.
Oh. Here, have a cup of tea. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand. Forensics, like modern Ace Attorney. Are we gonna be dusting for prints? Are we gonna be scanning for luminol? Are we gonna be rotating evidence in 3D? Surprise, we already do that.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here, today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, as it happens.
Well, now, just take a big breath and come out with it. Chop chop, the longer we wait, the longer it'll take me to get my hat embroidered.
Fine, Iris, fine. Let me just gather my thoughts. Here, armband. If you want to be modern Ace Attorney, this is the first requirement. By the way, Lord Strongheart, about this. Wait, this is probably required if I want to get my license back.
The symbol of a defense lawyer in the Japanese judiciary.
Oh, I didn't expect you to know that.
We never accept foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court.
Have I not performed, sir? Have I not performed like a little clown? You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? Honk honk! In West Clonadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spend most of my days. Yes, right. Remember when this guy's name was Heart Vortex? Heart Vortex, that's right! That was the name I remembered. I remember the heart part. Like, either way, it evokes that feeling of guy who's large and in charge. Like, absolutely, probably a black hole sucking in all the aura around him until nothing is left but his own presence. I mean, Vortex is a little off the top. Like, if you had told me beforehand Like, his two names are Strongheart and Vortex. Which one is the localization name? I would have thought it was the other way around. It's one of those things where Vortex is just so extra. Permission to work, sir. I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened. But the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend someone under the rules of a foreign justice system. Mail. Oh! Yeah, okay. Maelstrom! Oh, I get it. That's pretty good. Actually, that's clever. Yeah, the localization does get clever when it needs to. I think it's just for the smaller characters they get super silly with the localization names. Male Strongheart. I like that one. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the cold room again.
But, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you're a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, he's not coming back. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Asogi. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system and home. That was his calling. It's playing the theme! Oh, you done it now, Mr. Maelstrom Vortex. Cindy Vortex's father-in-law. I guess not father-in-law. That'd be Hugh Neutron. What? What? Whoa. Oh, I see. That's how they did it. It's still written in Russian, and I guess it's... Well, I don't know. I don't need Russian. We need ravioli in here. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. See what you done? You done give him anime power-ups. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. Oh, this theme, it really is hitting me right here. Just show that a picture again, why not? His dead body. This is what I'm talking about. Spoilers for Game 1. You gonna let him talk to you like that, Naruhodo? You gonna just take that? Or are you going to firmly request for your permission back? To live on in his legacy? Naruhodo! Naruhodo! That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense. I do remember in that little Morse code message, Kazuma's name, or at least Asogi's name, might have been in there.
Never mind.
Okay.
I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a good student. Yeah. Do you mean?
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain!
Stop! Look at those silver eyes. They're the eyes of a benevolent man. Man. So what is this? Hinting at maybe Asogi had some sort of ulterior motive? What? He was my friend! Of course not! He was here to practice law. Right? Oh. Thank you so much!
That's wonderful news, Runo. Now we can go to Disneyland. I mean, the Great Exhibition.
hold on. There's something else I need to ask him.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair.
The case of Baroque Van Zeeks?
You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course! Please, tell me more! Tell me more! Tell me more! Is it a curious affair? You like to see the game breaking the no spoiler rule. Well, I think that's more the fact that this and the first game were meant to be taken as a pair. It's not like the original trilogy where each could be its own game. Although I did like that gameplay style. I think this many games into it, especially with a sort of spin-off game, it makes more sense to connect the stories. You can describe it as a curious affair?
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday?
Oh. No, I wanna figure out what happened to Van Zeeks though. Oh no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment.
Germany, huh? TF2 medic?
Let me see, how is it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of the fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care.
Pizza flavor, I see. Oh, that's Devil May Cry. Whatever the serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman.
Odie Asman? Odie Asman. Odie Asman.
An inventor and a well-known figure in society.
Odie Asman. Odious man. He's odious? Hold on, let me check if odious means what I think it means. Extremely unpleasant or repulsive. Oh, Mr. Stinky, I got it. Odious man. Oh, the ass man. A large explosion? Well, he's definitely repulsive. In that his atoms repulse themselves from each other and he's now scattered about.
A man died.
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrayned.
Well, that one's pretty obvious. Like Albert Einstein, but he's harebrained.
He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow.
I guess I'm defending him.
On the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison.
Harebrained scheme.
There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
Again? Why do you keep giving these to me at the last second, Mr. Vortex, Mr. Maelstrom Man? I guess because I get here late. It's not my fault. Sherlock Sholmes absolutely despises alarm clocks. He doesn't let them anywhere within his apartment flat. If he so catches as much as a tick of one, he shoots it with his gun. Bow! The Great Exhibition. A scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder? Sounds like the tagline to a book. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Rimage, thank you for the raid. Wait a minute. Double, toil and trouble. Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cast a spell and stir the pot. It's a raid that we have brought. Welcome, Rimage.
That's this guy's voice right here. His name is Maelstrongheart, as in Maelstrom Heart. How you guys doing? I'll give everybody this warning. If you all don't want spoilers for the Great Ace Attorney, this is the second game. I'm sure you might have heard that before, but just in case anybody's new. So feel free to duck out like immediately, because I may continue like the text right now, maybe in a second. I gotta feel it out. Welcome on in, Oast, Garcia Dune, Rimage. How you doing? Wait a minute. Hope you had a good time. Can we get a shout out for Rimage? Before I do it myself. What? Yeah! Ooh, doing more of the Paper Mario Pit Trials, huh? Hope it was a good time. Hope you had fun. Yeah! No, I hope it was pretty good. Welcome to Voice Acting. If you don't know me, my name is Chris. I play visual novels, RPGs, all the whole shebang, and I do the voices just like this. I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still...
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely! I've just taken on a case where this professor invented a teleporter. And, you know, in the 19th century, that can only work so well. He's charged with murder because he teleported a man who never materialized on the other side. Wait a minute! You're here for Male Strongheart. M-A-L-E. Pretty good. Thanks for the resub. Thanks for the resub, Rim. Welcome back to the Chicken Coop. Grab a nest and get comfy. Hope you had a good time. Yeah.
Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
The Reaper? Grim? Man! Oh, with Lord Van Zeeks? How? Male Strongheart. He's the postal system. He's here to deliver the bad news.
All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium.
It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Is it murder? I mean, the intent was it was going to be murder and then unmurder. We just didn't finish the second part. Who knows? Maybe he'll rematerialize during the trial and then the case will be lifted, right? Like, what if you get charged with theft and in the middle of your court hearings, all of a sudden, the item that quote-unquote got stolen all of a sudden just turns up in the person's house? It was never stolen to begin with, maybe. It's kind of like that. Besides the person being dead part. Maybe more like a missing persons case, huh?
Exactly.
Look at that unicorn horn. Oh yeah, it does look like a kind of a little bit like a whoop. Maybe like a devil horn. Ah! Unmurder. Sherlock Holmes and the curious case of the Cheshire Cadaver. There we go. I tried to make it alliterate. Cheshire Cadaver. Actually, I like that a lot. Like, it's a body that disappeared because it turned alive again. Yeah, that's why. It got up and left. Ghost trick vibes.
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million.
That's a lot of sewage.
Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it is imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible.
Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? In it?
Exactly! The future of policing!
Speak more quietly, Mr. Strongheart. You're scaring Iris.
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods.
Oh dear, that's alarming. What's more alarming is that my voice is going. I need a drink. Hold on. Imagine Stronghard with a strong, scary smile. Did you just say Stronghard? Yeah, Strongbad's older brother. Well, you don't have to imagine if it's real. Let me just here we go. We'll take this smile. Yeah, right? And we'll just crop it up a little bit like that. And a little bit like that. And a little bit like that. I'm keeping the cheeks though. They're like perfectly complimentary. Ooh. There you oh my god. Oh. I think I've accidentally given him a strong chin. But I wanted to make sure the smile was as big as possible.
Extremely alarming, is it not?
Oh. Oh, that's bad. That's really scared Iris. Not the home stars. Yes, the home stars.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Good thing I don't have to face him in court. Ha 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 ha. Some people weren't meant to smile. Got that right, Unreal Jackal. Also, welcome on in. Sorry?
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. Everyone.
What? Oh, how fascinating!
It all began 15 years ago. I was...
Did I sleep through the story? Sir? Rinosuke? Ah, I knew I should have gotten the all-night mask.
And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter, in the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission.
Oh, right, yes. That's wonderful. 2,000 years later.
Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it would be.
Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. At least she has an excuse to not listen.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I learned how to get a good night's sleep in just 20 minutes, apparently. Now I have even less time to go ask the Dr. Harebrayned experiment. I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science, I'll say. Whew. Wait, I'm gonna have to present the newspaper, aren't I? Let us meet the Harebrayned. Just a second, I gotta ask something. Oof. A+ in class. Oi. By the way, if you're coming in on the raid, hope you had a fun night. Hope you had a good one. Yeah, and hope you're chilling out. I always do make it a point that you all are appreciated. Just, when I'm playing a game like this, it's not always possible to 100% address chat as quickly as possible, but I, rest assured, am glancing over and reading silently while I read the game text. You know, after 3 years of doing this, I've gotten better at following two things to read at once. I, only have one voice though. I'm not like one of those throat singers that can literally use two voices at the same time to sing. That is crazy though. I'd like to learn that skill. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The report of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition? Of course.
You call teleportation success? If you were trying to invent a murder machine, maybe. No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story?
Try using Face App on Strongheart. Let's not. Go ahead and do it if you must. Oh, Baroque is using a sword. For some reason, I didn't notice it at first. It kind of looked like a gun. Never mind the fact that he's holding it like backwards. But it kind of looked like he had the sword. This person had the sword, and Baroque was just like pew 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 with some sort of ancient blunderbuss.
The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
They brought a gun to a gunfight.
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. It's Leon's Gunblade. Final Fantasy VIII. Belrock, straight. He does look like someone straight out of Final Fantasy VIII, doesn't he? He'd be a teacher at that academy for sure. What are they called in that game? The summons? They're called like G somethings? GMs? General Motors?
Very well, if it interests you.
It does, strangely. Dun 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 dun. The text I couldn't read before. Did they get clearer? Looks the same to me. Yeah, just about as unreadable. Although, can I like zoom in using buttons? I don't think so. Oh well. Yeah, I've zoomed in on it before using this, but it still was pretty unreadable.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed.
Wow, badass. He probably like took his sword and like ting ting ting. Metal Gear Solid right in. Oops, that's the front. Cut up each and every one of the bullets. Nanomachines? No, he's just that good. Oh, you're right. Oh, this one's way clearer. Let's see if I can read anything. Man of Justice, Ruffians, Prosecutor under threat, Knives and Pistols, the site of the Companion's Blackguard's reporter to the crimes, of crimes, Bishan, the city, to have such occurring in its Chief Justice's office, Ponce, to his latest inse, X and his condition in tomorrow's mom. Upon the office, elf app de and hapnism it too. Fiery ball gown sets dance hall ablaze. An evening of cordial dancing turned into a blazing ball last week when one of the lady attendees' dresses accidentally caught on fire. In her panic at the sudden appearance of flames at her feet, the lady madly about the whole of the no fewer than 3 fully the fires. Yo, that's Cruella de Vil's flash fire dress gone wrong. Albert's pretty good. Yeah, since Albert Einstein is German. And fun fact, if you like Mega Man, Thomas Light and Albert Wiley are named after Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein. That could be why I can't hear Dr. Wiley with anything but a German accent. I'm sorry, Keith Silverstein, but that's just not the voice I expect. You know, thinking about Mega Man 11's Wiley. French court hears glass eye case. The judge de paix of Neuilly was presented today with the most curious case of a lady who refused to pay her dues for the purchase of one glass eye. Wow. I'm expecting one of these to end in just like a really dumb pun. The whole affair began when Madame Pluyette, the defendant, ordered the eye as a replacement for the natural eye she had lost. Upon its arrival, she found that she could see no more with it than she could before, and became incensed at the thought of paying for a deficient product. That's not The judge de paix attempted to reason with the madame, endeavor proved to be it. Oh. Well, I don't think she's winning that one. Can I do a French accent? It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.
Ho ho ho! Allons-y!
Iris, get Altamont Gas Company. GS. Choose. Something about Proclamation Frederick, American lady that made a Maria Mitchell of Nantucket, Massachusetts. There are competing claims of the new comet's discovery from all nations. Mr. William Rudder Dawes, King Christian, was swayed by the provision of King our President Everett Charles the Fair. Blah 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 blah. Ah. Well, that was fun. I sure do feel learned. I want to hear more about the cat, though. Like, what is that? That's not a cat. No way. I refuse to believe it. There you go. Oh, what's this? Ah! 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 Dude, this is the app that they used to freaking put to use on the what was it? They used it on Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5 to make him smile. Oh no, what have you done? This is cursed.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zix emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But... Don't mock me, boy.
Sorry. That's incredible. They were armed with guns. Yeah, you ever seen a gun from the 19th century? They're not the most convenient to wield. Albert does have a connection to Germany. Yeah, they do say he's German. Did he speak German in the intro cutscene? I'm not sure what his accent really was. It wasn't quite English, but it wasn't really German. I need to hear... Well, I don't know if we'll ever hear him talk again, but I'll probably look at the cutscene later. Also, welcome on in, Windy. How you doing? But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Bang, bang. He did roll his R's. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capitalist criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zix. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Oh, yes, I was about to ask. Who could possibly beat Van Zix in court besides me? Oh, someone with money. Of course. Large sums of money. Egg Benedict! Rupert Krogray.
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems.
You know, I don't find that very hard to believe, especially with the juries in these games.
However, despite winning his freedom...
Ashley Graydon now. Graydon. Sounds like a Digimon. Metal Graydon! Graydonmon.
The man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
Of course. Of course. Curse of the Reaper. You're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely?
Don't call me Shirley. But yes, the victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Assman. Mr. Odious Man.
Did you say... Assman?
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition!
Oh! Yes!
Yes. Known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Oh! Curious and curious, I'm willing to bet he used... Oh, wait, I swear it wasn't me! I'm just thinking out loud. I'm willing to bet that he used the teleportation incident as a chance to fake his death. Maybe he did, quote-unquote, materialize in the right place, or probably more likely, it was all a magic trick with, stage doors, trap doors, and all that. And he just elected to not appear on the other side in order to more easily go into hiding. Wait! Old-ass man! Well, while we get bombarded by chickens, I think the pun is supposed to be odious man. Odious being like he's terrible, repulsive, disgusting. Like he was not a real-like person. Like he was a very, very bad man. Does anybody happen to know the original name for Mr. Odious Man? Strongheart, no! No, he's too strong at heart to be killed. He's fine. Enigmatic Shark, nice blob dance. How you doing? Unbelievable! Thanks for the bang bang, Goku. I'm still sus? What is this? Kangaroo Court? I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Why is it so... Why does it feel like I'm being watched in here? I just can't stop looking around like I'm being followed.
It's the suits of armor. There's real bodies inside. What? Try me.
Elider Meningen. Ponan irai dame ningen. which translates to incredibly bad and or useless person. Oh! Oh yeah, erai dame ningen. Ningen is person or human. Dame, you know the one. Dame dane, dame yo, dame nano yo. Anta ga suki de, suki sugite. Thank you, Mars 13. Yeah, I like that. That's a pretty faithful translation if it's odious, man. I like that one. Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? Is it because of the curse? Is it because innocent are guilty? Wait! What if Strongheart is responsible for the quote-unquote curse? Like, no matter what, whether Van Zieks wins or loses, Strongheart just goes... orders a hit on whoever is acquitted. You don't think... I never trusted this guy in the first place. Go ahead and wind your watch. You're gonna, like, snap the spring with that much winding. I do like a good pocket watch, though. All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. Why are they getting off in court? I mean... and feel for all that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zieks first. Yamete! Okay, fine. I won't break your ears any longer. Raviolin, how's it going? We were just talking about you. There was some Russian we needed to translate earlier. If only it was still on screen. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still... Someone call you Milk because you're spoiled. Well, hi there, Milk. How you doing? Something's clearly going on here. How's your stream, Origin? This man is grand, and that's all I can really say.
I have Van Zieks' work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
But that doesn't make sense. How could you explain the way that so many have died if not by someone's hand?
Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he's no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course.
Thank you for the hydrate. Ooh. Quick recap for anyone who doesn't know. This man right here.
Who, me?
Yes, you, Strongheart.
Oh, well, I feel a little flattered.
He's giving us the skinny on what it means to face off against Baroque Van Zieks, the main prosecutor of these 2 games. There's been this rumor that he goes out and has, a hit placed on anybody who, guilty or not, dares to face him in court. And while it does seem a lot of people meet a mysterious end, it hasn't been 100% true so far. And long story short, I have my suspicions that Strongheart may know more than he's letting on. And yeah, there's something about a teleporter incident going awry, so somebody call the engineer from TF2.
Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement.
Wow, you're getting married? To who?
I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget.
That's pretty late, dude. That's like half a day. 11 hours late? That's quite something. That means you shouldn't have even been here to talk to me. Either that or he just talked to me for 11 hours while I dozed off. Oh.
That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man.
Well, thank you for at least indulging me, sir. Look at that horn, man. It doesn't look symmetrical. Like, it's part of the right side of his head. I'm getting just Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain vibes, you know? When you're doing the evil... When you're doing, like, the semi-evil demon route and your horn just goes... And you're just eternally bloody. Here, let's just cover that up. There you go. Much better. Never mind the fact that he has 2 pairs of lips. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh, yes. Where would I find Lord Van Zieks now? Teleporter down.
I would assume he's at his office.
Wow, why have I never thought to visit him? Right, I'll go ask him about that attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Calling him a horse? Bojack Horseman?
Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrained's defense entirely in your hands.
Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Hey! Iris, we're going. Iris? Where'd you go? Oh, I lost Iris. Couldn't read all these books even if you were a bookworm. Oh, she's here.
Oh, I know! So much reading material! I'm very envious! I've been running out of things to read recently.
Because you read so fast.
Perhaps little by little I could swap some of the books in here and bind from home.
This is not a lending library. I don't see why not. Don't encourage her! No one would notice, or at least I wouldn't, even if I was reincarnated 3 times over as a librarian.
Wow, bad influence!
Russian to translate Russian. Oop. Call you a noisy car because you're cool with spoilers. That means you also 20% faster? Pretty good. Yeah, hope you had a good time. We're going to the prosecutor's office. Nice. Well, you know, if it was Phoenix Wright going to Edward's office, you know what happens there. A friendly game of, chess. Yes. The cogs of the giant clock were keeping time as usual with a steady rhythmical motion. It's really quite disturbing how little sound they make considering their massive size.
Someone very brilliant must have designed it, and whoever maintains it must be very talented too. But I'm not entirely convinced it's even a clock.
What? But what about the huge clock face that forms the window over there?
Some people just make machines that move for the fun of it, because they enjoy watching them. While how, like, Curly makes his rambling deductions just for the fun of it.
He certainly isn't making any truths apparent.
Even if the outcome isn't quite right.
Never mind all the trouble it gets others into along the way. Why do we even let Herlock deduce things? Be gone! Oh, Raph can translate Russian. Well, next time it comes up... Oop, unless someone happens to have a picture. You know, besides this picture. Hey! The Lord Chief Justice's desk. When you look like that, there's no mistaking Lord Strongheart's authority, is there? I already got that from his grand presence within the room, honestly.
But the light from the window behind is far too bright. It would be very bad for the eyes.
I hadn't thought of that. There are no curtains, that's for sure. He just turns a button. He just presses a button that turns the clock so fast that the motion of the arms creates a sort of blind that dims the light coming in from outside. Yeah? And then it effectively turns it to nighttime. Yo, Pikachu, what's up? I'm sorry, I noticed you at the end of the last stream, like at the very end, before I could even say hi, but welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend.
What's more important, having a desk with an air of authority or having eyes at work?
They say sunlight's good for you, though. I can't say I'd ever considered it. After all, my office barely has any light to speak of, and I haven't really seen my desk in a while. Arguably even worse for the eyes. Suit of armor. I'm gonna read this real quick.
We can hide inside these suits of armor and spy on the Fob Master to find out what he's really like.
What, you think he just like plays with dolls while nobody's watching? Probably. You think he makes like tea with extra sugar in it? Da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-da-dum. I'm not sure what the point of being able to see slightly to the left and right is. There's not really anything there. Just to give you a sense of the hugeness of the room, huh? Alright, let's mosey. New location has been added. Ooh. So we could go talk to Van Zeeks. We could also talk to our defendant. Well, let's see if Mr. German Man is here. Mr. Albert. What kind of chess we talking about? The kind where the blue chess pieces are cornered by sharp red chess pieces? Yes. I don't think that's how chess works, but it seems to be how Edgeworth thinks chess works. 22nd October, local prison cell 11. Oh, different from Mr. Soseki's usual cell. Imagine if I looked to the left and, Shamspeare's there for no reason. What? Shouldn't he be in jail?
The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Look at him.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look. What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrayned, wasn't it?
Oh, what's his name again? Professor Harebrayned, wasn't it? Ryunosuke just practicing his Irish impression. Excuse me? Excuse me? Professor Harebrayned? Hello? Look! Oh. Mr. Glasses. I see. Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was that something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That demonstration was... But that magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success! By anyone's calculations! Despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it is explained, they all leave at high velocity. Gotta go fast. Ha ha ha. Calm down, man. Oh, jeez. He's not actually German. What? I've been lied to. The game said he was German. Some people are German in spirit. Surprisingly good medic impression. Keep it though. He's just doing a really bad German impression, which is just me doing a German impression. Charge it, Doc. Aus. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration need for a while too. Sir, here, look at my badge. What's this? It's a badge. It means that I'm ready to get out of here, because what are you doing, man? Ah, fascinating, yes! In Japan, where I come from, it is a symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very bracing, I find. It's a sage badge. If I can read the article again. Like, I've been, at least in the text so far in this translation of the game, am I just imagining it that they straight up said he was German? It could be a translation difference, I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm just going over what I was told. Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical. He might be a fake German. Well, that's a spoiler then. I'd rather not have spoilers. I'm just gonna go with the German accent, okay? If that's quite all right. If anyone's like presented as one thing and then revealed to be something else, please don't reveal that early on. I do count that as a spoiler. I'm not sure. I have to be careful about this stuff because I don't know these spoilers ahead of time. So like, I'm not sure what people are revealing that they should reveal or they shouldn't. So if it sounds like I'm being hard on that, when in fact it may not actually be a big deal, I apologize, but I have to enforce it like this, or else like people will let real spoilers slide. So I'm just gonna continue on like I've been. What do you mean? Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for my work very bracing too. However, in my case, there's a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. Oh, really? What is it? I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one is too small for me. Hey, it's pretty stylish though. Tight clothes are gonna be in. Just wait a couple decades. The sleeves especially are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists. That's what you call logical, is it? Of course! It's entirely logical! That's science, Mr. Naruhodo! Hey. Alright. Hey, guy. This man's as weird as Sherlock Holmes. A little eccentric, but you can't beat Sholmes. Whereas Sholmes may act crazy on the outside and may somehow have the key to actual deduction buried within his own harebrained. I need to get a feel on this guy first. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he?
Yes, you could interpret the results of that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success.
You've lost me.
I saw it with my own eyes. Right there in front of me, Mr. Assman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculation has predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However,
The machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished.
yes, I cannot deny that part of the experiment was a failure.
So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the big one's how you were arrested on suspicion of murder.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once.
He's pleading guilty. Well, that's gonna make my job in court a lot harder, eh?
Can I at least get a plea deal?
Is Ryunosuke's VA part German? Is he? I know he is at least part Japanese. Let's go look it up. Ryunosuke. Voice actor. Also, here, have a distraction. Mark Takeshi Ota. He is an actor. There's not much known about him. He voices Ryunosuke. He's British. Okay. British, Japanese heritage, German, Japanese. True. So he's all the above. Nice. Well, there you go. They hired perfectly, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I'd love his voice in the few lines that I do get. I've been trying to imitate it this whole time, but not quite 100%. Yeah, distraction, it worked! You like his strike when he glares, kinda cute. What? But...
Murder! Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident.
That's still like a certain degree of manslaughter, man. I see. If only that was a Shakespeare specialist. Oh my. Well, you know, tell you what, make it and I'll use it for Ace Attorney, huh?
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. You said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly? Well, I guess the main difference is premeditation, huh? Yeah, manslaughter. It's an accident. So I guess that's the charge. Although, I don't know how it works in British courts, especially in the 19th century.
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds?
Ah, yes. It's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
The Sedasaya. That one passed me by. There's a spider on my wall. Go forth, little spider. Be free. I know spiders are good because they catch other creepy crawlies.
But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder.
If it was murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour it over as much as they like.
He's just trying to protect his patents.
They examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That is why it's imperative that this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial.
Woo! Ah, I see now. I like the little name tag he's got. They had to write, like, Dr. Harebrayned. So, how does teleportation work exactly?
What? You are just here to steal my idea. Away with you! Out! Out! You are no liar, you're a sham!
No, that's me, William Shakespeare. Who said that? Oh yeah, you know, William's just in cell number 10 over there. You know, he's been there ever since Oh no, yeah, that was how many months ago? I guess still 6 months. Yeah, it had to have been. He's been in that cell for 6 whole months. They forgot to let him out. He's been subsisting on nothing but eating the candle wax. Ooh, unfortunate. 8 months. So 2 months. Okay, 2 months before he got disbarred. How about that? No spiders. Your favorite spider is Weber from Don't Starve. That's a good spider. Every time I see Kamen Rider doing his Don't Starve weekends. For sure. I think I see him like every other time playing that spider. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday.
Yes! Or as I know, the devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion.
Sounds the same to me. Familiar with Don't Starve? I've played it a couple of times myself, but I never really got into it because I kept dying. Oof. But our friend Kamen Rider OT, he likes to do Don't Starve every Friday or so. Let me give him a shout out. I haven't played too many. I'm not too familiar with it. I just know I played as, was there a robot? I think I played as a robot. I think just because robot. I could be Robot Chicken.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating!
Hey look, a meeting of the minds.
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles to space. That's in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis.
Okay, you got high voltage, but what about current? What about, what about, how many batteries you need? Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science.
Oh, but dare to imagine it! Dare to dream of such incredible technology! Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again!
Well, yes, that would be incredible. Although, you know, the police would probably arrest you immediately again. Battery? What is this battery you speak of? Be careful, Harebrayned. You might be charged with assault and battery.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theatre, I say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach.
So, no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? How about no more needing to be on a boat? No more needing to eat the chicken? Oh, Asogi. Oh. Realistically, Shamsir would have been sent to the gallows long ago by this point.
A little bit. I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
You saying it wouldn't be as fun if you could just go anywhere in the world fast? I mean, like, you get that feeling these days, kind of in the same way, because no matter where you are in the world, theoretically, you know, barring, you know, travel bans, you could get on a plane and be anywhere in, like, 20 hours tops. Because, you know, at that point, it might be faster to go around the world the other day or something like that. It all depends. Private planes, how fast the planes are. But just to be absolutely across the world in one day, that's something that people from this era would have never imagined. Wait, when were planes exempted? Hold on. I gotta make sure this isn't like achronism for me. Brothers, first flight. First flight was 1903, so this was before airplanes ever were a thing. Not even gliders. Well, maybe gliders. Hot air balloons were the closest. Oh, is that the basis of Around the World in 80 Days? Are we just gonna have a trial about Around the World in 80 Days?
My word, that's exactly right!
Thanks for the chicken wrap, and we still haven't figured out where Carmen Sandiego is.
What are the implications? What does it mean?
Oops! Let's go, Professor Bunnybrain. Really worried by the looks of it.
Bunnybrain? Bunny. Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose.
The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Ew. Get it out of there, at least. Like, dig around it so you can still use the rest of the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes.
Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
I mean, probably true. Also, where does Herlock even get all this money? Is he just really insanely lucky with his pawn shop finds? Like, not just that Stradivarius he got for like $4, but maybe he found like an authentic Leonardo da Vinci painting and he just sold it for gratuitous amounts of cash.
He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time.
Sherlock? Oh, Assman.
I met the well-known investor, Mr. Assman.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? Commercial flight was invented in 1914. Wow. Wow, only like 11 years after the Wright brothers' first flight. Would I trust flight like when the first people to have ever flown only happened a mere 11 years before? You gotta realize technology moves at an insane pace. Only 11 years for a commercial flight. How many people did it seat? Was it just like 5 people in a glider? And they charged money for it? Is that like a commercial flight, quote unquote? You think Sherlock gets money from cases and weird odd jobs? Odd may be right. Maybe he does public performances on his violin. He let his own investor die like that. Maybe it's a plot to get all his money. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Assman, wasn't it? Well, Mr. Assman, looks like your ass is grass, man. Da-da-da-da-da. What exactly was your relationship with the Assman?
He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I signed my lucky stars.
I see, so you hadn't really known each other until then. Holmes's money, Just call him Bunny from now on? Well, I mean, if you gave him bunny ears... No, not that. Now he really looks like an evil scientist. Don't mind me. Here, have another distraction. There you go. Ah, now he's really harebrained. This is the traditional gel attire that they wear. The bright yellow ears are meant to allow the guards to instantly identify any escaped prisoners. They can't just take it off, no, because it's attached directly to their brains. That's why they're harebrained. If you remove the hood, their brains just go, just spill right out.
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
You don't get paid?
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Angel investor, maybe. Oh, really?
An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund the practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Assman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer.
They gave you an engineer?
He produced a machine to my precise specifications.
So I began looking into that engineering, huh? Maybe he sabotaged it in some way. The commercial flight had one passenger. Did the passenger have to also pilot the plane? I guess, like, if the first flight was the Wright brothers themselves, then yeah, you could just go, okay, I take this plane, I'll still be the pilot. Hey, bro, you sit back, we'll charge this person to fly. That makes sense. 25 minutes, that's impressive! Actually, because wasn't the first flight only like a couple of seconds? More of a glide than anything? Yeah. He didn't make his own machine. Like, in real life, you probably only, like, design the things. You don't make every bit yourself. Like, it's not... You're not Tony Stark over here, building miniature arc reactors in a cave with a box of scraps, you know? You just make the design and have someone else do the dirty work, you know?
But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. You have to realize, the last time I did a German accent in an Ace Attorney game was for Franziska von Karma. And they've got very different personalities, I will say. I can't even remember what it sounded like when I did... No, I haven't done Papa von Karma's... No, I have. I did his voice during the flashback scenes of Ace Attorney 1. Ace Attorney Investigations 1, rather. Aceface, welcome on in. As a mechanical engineer, you design a single part, electrical stuff, building it, making the parts are delegated to someone else. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Welcome on in, Aceface. Welcome on in. Good to see a fellow engineer. I'm a computer engineer, so talk to me about chips and programming code. But you know, I did my fair share of electrical engineering in college. How could this have happened? You must feel awful. As well as a man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too. And you know, all that investment money down the drain.
I know what happened! It must have been that!
Zat? He seems more like a theoretical physicist. Paging, Dr. Freeman.
The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters at the local restaurant, the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slid the coins into my pocket. They're still there now.
What, you saying you created a magnetic field?
It's divine retribution to my wrongdoing. That's what it is.
They gave you the coins. I don't think they can blame you. Paging, Dr. Chicken, please report to surgery.
I don't know how to do surgery. I'm just a theoretical physicist.
I'm just here to push buttons and put strange glowing rocks in some beams, man. Shutting down. Attempting shutdown. For a scientist, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Anecdotes. Long and illogical. Well, I don't think we can get more out of him right now, so let's go see what Prosecutor Van Zeeks is up to, huh? You haven't been to this place yet, don't forget to take me. Just leave Iris in jail, it'll be fine. Keep Mr. Harebrayned company over here. A scientist, and he believes in karma.
Von Karma!
You know. Just because you believe the science, oh my god. Doesn't mean you can't also be superstitious. Yeah, this is Van Zeeks' office. Look at how many goblets this man has.
Karuma.
And the bottles, oh, I bet these are finely aged. Ready to throw into the gallery. All prepared. Those are his ones just for today. He's got a whole cellar of them. This is too small to be a chessboard. That's not enough pieces. There's like speed chess. Oh, and got swords. They look to be of different styles. You got candles. What else we got here? We got a little... Oh, it's a little model of the fair. Look at that. Yeah, with the teleporting machine and a policeman. The rest of the fair. Painting of Van Zeeks, I assume. Yeah, pretty fancy place he's got here. I hope nothing bad happens in here. Prosecutors' offices tend to attract some bad juju in the Ace Attorney games. Edgeworth, take notes. This is how you decorate. Edgeworth has got some pretty fancy decorations. It's just, you know, a certain Wendy needs to stop sending him flowers and whatnot. Not you, Wendy. Wendy Oldbag.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office?
I'd expect more sickles and dark cloaks. Yes, it appears so. Midi chess for babies.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that... Who? Is that Van Zeeks? Is that Herlock Sholmes? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. Gina Lestrade? What are you doing here? Dog! Oh, hi. So that's not Van Zeeks, then who's that? Hello there? Are all those barrels his wine? It's gotta be. When it's not bottled, it's cast. Remember to examine everything in his office. I'll try. This is like the first time you've been here. I've been kinda skimping on it because we saw most of everything in the past game. And I'm sure there's new dialogue, but when it's a new area, I'm going to try to get everything. And if there's anything that like makes progress and makes me leave, warn me about that. I'll allow that. Hi Zeeksy. How you doing? Can I call you Barry? He isn't as welcoming as I thought he'd be. And look, he's so tall. Actually, maybe even more so. I'm glad to see you well. Edgeworth needs better security since Oldbag stalks him nonstop. I bet Oldbag signs up to be his security detail. And since she's technically she's not really part of the police force, no. But maybe she's got connections, you know. She could be the Pink Badger one day, Edgeworth security guard the next. It makes sense. Yeah. You think Naruhodo thinks Van Zeeks is a friend? Like, he doesn't hate the man. He understands him in a sort of ironic sort of way. As much as Van Zeeks looks like he hates the man. They also, like, professionally, Van Zeeks respects Naruhodo's ability to turn the case around, and he does humor his arguments in court. And the truth does get found. Like, I've said it before, Van Zeeks is a good man. He just has had an unfortunate past with Japanese people. You think Oldbag is alive at this point? Before she was born? Nah, she's old enough. Born in the 1800s. She's probably like a baby right now. Oh, I'm glad to see you well. You know, we just came to visit because we heard you got attacked.
I am.
Cool. Good talk. Whew. Such a heavy air in the room. Did you see him just slightly rotate? So who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? Similar to Phoenix and Edgeworth, in a way, but without having had the benefit of being childhood friends, you know?
No punishment is taking place here.
Oh. Windy Youngbag?
That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will.
Apprentice? Oh, is that the other dude in the photo? I didn't know you had an apprentice. The young ward, is he Robin to your Batman? Also, Nuiki, what's up? How you doing? It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Did we get to see his face?
He's very able in combat. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage.
Yeah, get targeted that often, huh? I feel like that's not something you should just accept. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? Van Zeeks Jr. I didn't know you had a son.
I don't have a son. I simply performed mitosis on myself. I split into two.
After the end of World War II, the world split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era known as the Cold War.
Woke up from a nap. Nice.
The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms.
So you're denying yourself of being the Reaper. Saying that, like, of course he would. Like, I truly believe he has nothing to do with the fact that so many of his, the people he tries in court just die. It's gotta be someone making a bad name for him. I know you've seen this around my arm before, but,
What is it exactly?
it's the mark of a defense lawyer. In Japan, at least. Can we present a check-in? If I got one in my inventory, I'll let you know.
And what is your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor?
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought I show you my badge, you show me yours. You'd have a nice little game of show and tell. You know, to strengthen familiar bonds. Oh. Ooh, nice presented chicken. Unfortunately, he has no response to it. Oh, well, I don't know, really.
I can understand, at least.
Oh.
There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today.
Oh.
But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at times. At all times, not something to flaunt.
You see, you guys keep summoning chickens while he's got his eyes closed. He keeps missing them from just, like, a small margin.
Oh, did you hear that?
No, nothing. No, I suppose not. Inspirational roots, nice. Thank you for your understanding, though. Let's check out the room. Nice digs you got here, man. Are these all your remaining goblets? How many did you have made?
Oh, well, you see, at the beginning of every case, I have 7 handmade.
Yeah, didn't he say he pours no more than 7 glasses of wine? So, like, he expects a maximum of 7 each time, and the extras get stored here as sort of like souvenirs. It's just that I drive him to drink so much that he has to reach into his backstock. Like,
You, bailiff! Go to my office and fetch me some new glasses. I'm out.
look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. Check out that mystery man. In a second.
My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I finest visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
The little exchange. Remember, I have a feeling it has something to do with Zeke's partner. Like, this isn't because you mentioned it. This is my, like, gut feeling, the way he clutched it at his breast. Especially because of the way that Naruhodo himself brought it up. Like, I think Van Zeeks can probably really, like, understands where we've been. CC the Valkyrie, thanks for the follow.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes.
Hey! I'll take it as a compliment. That means I have an imagination. What about you, Mr. Van Zeeks?
Got him!
Oh,
Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile.
That's real big look what you made me do energy. You're the one throwing the man. Gonna get some food, nice. So it's my fault? Silly Mia, how could I have ever thought otherwise? He must go to bed drunk every night. No, he saves the wine for court. He must, like, prosecute drunk every day. Lord Van Zeek's desk. Look, it's so stylish. He's got a phonograph.
And that's a marble chess set behind it.
Marble, you say? Chess? That's the Western version of a Japanese shogi game, isn't it? Yeah, after playing a little bit of shogi in Yakuza Like a Dragon, and by playing, I mean floundering, they are very similar. It's honestly genius how shogi has both types of piece on both sides of each piece. Like, it really saves you the trouble of having to, like, flip them over, or not flip them over, you have to flip them over. Like, swap them out or remember when something's been promoted or something like that. Like, not that that's really a thing you have to do in chess because of the way the pieces are designed, but I think it's pretty cool. You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lord Van Ziek sometimes. To about his shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home.
Look, I bet they'd have a rousing game over some tea. They'd be best of friends, it'd be great. Let a man dream, Irisu. Irisu. How rich is Van Ziek's? Well, considering he's the best prosecutor, I'm assuming that he's still like... Well, even if you lose a case, you still get paid, right? He's probably like paid the most out of all prosecutors because he is the best. Probably the same amount of money you'd use to pay a hit on somebody because of the curse. Hiring him as a prosecutor amounts to just hiring a hit on the defendant. Ugh. Now that is just scary.
Oh, look, it's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
He's a lord as well, so definitely don't come cheap. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it stick his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
He could just go, you know. Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Imagine Van Ziek's wearing a little Disneyland hat, waiting in line with, like, I don't know, one of those refillable buckets of popcorn and refillable Slurpee cups. Oh, that's adorable. I want to see art of that. Not that I'm asking for it to be made. I just want to see it. He's going to Disneyland. Look. It's where everyone can be young at heart.
Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid.
Ah!
Sorry, I didn't know you had problems eating and, you know, using the bathroom.
Investigative aid, not digestive aid. You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved.
I really didn't think he'd overhear that. His favorite ride's the merry-go-round. Maybe his favorite ride is the Prosecutors of the Caribbean. Why is that always the ride I go to when I talk about Disneyland? Bruce Land! Baroque racism, take a shot. Yeah. yeah. You know, I got really up in arms about it when I was playing through the first game. Not, like... I don't know if I have a particular right to be totally offended. I mean, I am Asian American, but that's about it. I'm not Japanese, it's just... When I was beginning out streaming, I felt like if I didn't outwardly express derision at any and every, you know, problematic thing in the game, I was scared that it would reflect on me. Like, oh, he didn't get angry that one time, he must advocate racism. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I trust you guys to understand. I'm just like, yeah, that's a part of the game. It's a part of the time this game takes place in, so at this point, it's kind of sadly not fazing me anymore, but at the same time, I want him to like get over it as a character and finally accept Naruhodo as an equal, because he seems to have done that in all but name. It's that close. Come on, be good friends. I just wanted the makeup. The portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? People don't straight up say slurs in this version. They kinda didn't in the fan translation either. Just, they kinda did. Although, a recent patch of the 3DS game and iOS versions actually removed some of them. Funnily enough. Look at this man's hair! Whoa! Looking good, Van Ziek's. Man, this must have been taken when he was, like, at least 20 years younger. Look at this. Man looks like a Fire Emblem amiibo. Just give him a sword. Give him the Falchion. Looks like he has antennas. What, is he just Apollo Justice? Apollo Justice's great-great-great-great-grandfather? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly... You've had a few years to mull over how the game handles it. Uh-huh. Yeah, same as well. I don't know, I guess I've said how I felt about it. I'm just trying not to dwell on it too much. Whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Ziek's facial features. He was just young at the time, man. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's like his clone. What? Liquid Snake?
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Hey, that reminds me of that he's handsome. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. You mean taller?
How vain! That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
I've heard that Napoleon actually wasn't that short. It's just that it's been exaggerated over time. Oh! It's like his father then or something like that. It does not depict him. Anyway, Napoleon wasn't that short. How tall was Napoleon? Like, for a Frenchman, he was pretty average at the time. It's just... the differences in how you do measurements. Like, it was the imperial system, yeah, but, you know, inches and feet were actually determined by king's feet, so it varied depending on which king you were using. According to the pre-metric system French measures, he was a diminutive 5'2". But at the time, the French inch was 2.7 centimeters, so he was actually about 5'6", 5'5"? Well, you know, I'm guessing that'd be pretty average for the time.
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious.
Oh, then who is it? Yeah, 5'6". Dusty Kuga, what's up? Wasn't it Napoleon used like weird measurement? Yeah, French inches. Takumi is Japanese but lives in the mainland. Shu Takumi. As a mainlander, you should not trust one of them to handle something like, yeah. It's... I don't know how realistic this is to actual... One, to actual 19th century England. And then two, to how... Even if 19th century England wasn't that racist, if... Like, obviously there would be racist people. I don't know if this is how they'd act. But it... At the very least, the story does a believable job of making me feel like they're definitely being prejudiced for preconceived reasons that on one hand are definitely racist. On the other hand, I can see where the xenophobia comes from because they're just not used to the interaction between Japanese and British. So it's interesting to think about. Yeah. First time you saw Barak, you thought you would fit in Fire Emblem, right? That's what I'm saying. His amiibo would sell out instantly. All right, time to talk to the little barrel man. What are these actual bats? Excuse me? Whoa, he's got pets. Ah! Okay. Ah! They were bats. Dude, that's not hygienic. They might have rabies.
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
Why doesn't he bring those to court? He is Batman! But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought it was the familiar. Just not the flying kind. Oh yeah, and Darklaw and Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney. That's also a good one. Yeah.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary though, either way. The wine? We just got Five Nights at Freddy'd. Look at all those ancient... Whoa! Look at all those ancient eggs. This is his egg drawer. Look at all those ancient casks lining the wall there.
Cask in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets?
Yeah, I don't think there are bodies in there. You don't think. Don't you start those rumors, Iris. All those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them. Ted, do you?
Snake, answer me! Snake! Snake! What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages.
Dude, we're just snooping around his room. Barely even talked to him. Actually, I don't even think I've talked to any of his dialogue options yet. Oh yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Curari.
Yeah, Kurari. lowering the bar if you gotta defend him just because of the era. I'm not, well, I don't know. I don't think it's about defending him. I think it's just about, like, setting expectations based on the era of the game. Like, of course, it's not good now, and it wasn't good back then, but also this game is only pretending to take place in that time. I'm not really Strychnine. I'm not really gonna talk about it anymore, because I'm sure it's more aptly discussed in places outside of a video game. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, still soft-spoken. Welcome on in.
Bruno and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't, if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot.
Literally just walked in to look at everything. Hasn't said a word to the man. Well, technically yes, but hasn't had any real discussion. Really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. You think perhaps he's dead? We got strychnine now. Let's go. I said I would add it, and I needed to before I forgot. We only have so much of the game left.
If he was dead, Rudo, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
I'm sure that's a whole nother case. A whole nother murder mystery. Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead.
I hope not. He's just studying. He's stuck in this video game called Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney. He's trying to solve one of those puzzles, and he really doesn't want to use a hint coin. He worked hard for those. Is anyone else like me in Professor Layton games and actually doesn't use the hint coins at all? Like, I know they're there to give hints, but I'd rather, like, keep, like, 100% of my coins, and even if I do use a hint, I, like, close the game and reload it. It feels weird to, like, collect them all, but not have, like, 3,000 out of 3,000 Pickarots, you know? For using a hint coin. Let's actually talk to the man, I suppose. Because we already gave him the armband. Last night's attack. Meditation. Uh-huh. Maybe he's astral projecting. Maybe he's in the zone, like Disney's Soul. Sane, never played Layton. Matter of Pride. Something like that. Sometimes I don't even trust the hints they give, honestly. Because sometimes the hints are just... Oh, yes, think of the problem differently. Well, of course I need to think of the problem differently, or else I wouldn't be stuck, huh? And you don't actually get a useful hint until, like, 2 hints later. I missed a message from Worst Company. Replaying Judgment. Nice! Hope you're enjoying it. Speaking of, AmericaOnline, AOL.com. Did you finish Judgment? I'm not sure if you ever actually did, but I want to play it sometime soon. I don't... You know, since I'm already saying I'm not going to play Judgment 2 when it comes out, I don't think I'm in a rush to play Judgment 1, so let's say that after Skyward Sword, Dragon Quest V will take priority, because I've been wanting to play through that real soon. That's my idea for now. Yeah. Lord Strongheart said the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack?
True. Carried out by henchmen of Odiasmin's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably someone could to kill me before that happened.
Odiasmin.
He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor.
Aceface, thanks for the follow.
But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure the jury isn't even allowed to talk to the defendant. So yeah, that's probably breaking all sorts of rules. Like Iris and Ryu's partnering. Iris being naughty and Ryu enabling her. Sort of like Phoenix and Maya. Because the thing about when Ryunosuke and Suzato are traveling together is it's really Naruhodo, the one that's playing the fool character, with Suzato playing the straight man. Which is why I honestly always, like, forget how young Suzato is, because she's always acting like the voice of reason and order to Naruhodo's chaos. Did I just call him Naruto? Ah, yes, Ryunosuke Naruto. Rasengan!
Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
Well, didn't finish it. Okay, well, if you ever do continue, I'd love to see it.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end.
Ace Face has got to head off. Hey, no problem. All my stuff gets put up on YouTube for Avant, so if you want to go watch there, feel free to. Let me just link that real quick. And I'll see you around, okay?
Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances, it was a most unusual cause of death.
I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Hasman died when the demonstration on the public experimenting stage ended in an enormous explosion. That's a tongue twister. Demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Red headband, yellow headband.
Correct.
He's the substitute Hokage. No wonder he's got a headband.
And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
No, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Reno? I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
Adam, good evening. How you doing?
What? You're going to be defending him?
Well, of course. You're prosecuting, aren't you? You can't escape me, Benzix. Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest.
Albert.
Oh, the game didn't expect me to go here second after going to the jail.
Albert Harebrayned.
That's right. Do you know him by any chance?
Of course.
Oh?
He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together.
Ooh, what? Ooh, what? You're... What? They know each other? Of course they do. You know, these later game cases always have to have, like, some personal involvement by the prosecutor. Always. Although, this is only the third one. Huh. Adam's doing well, how about me? Well, you know. Had a good weekend. I, may or may not have installed... Well, I already talked about installing that GBA screen, but now I have a picture of it. Take a look. And this is for the YouTube video, too, because I haven't showed it yet. Y'all ever wanted to watch Sonic X on an backlit IPS display? Well, look at it in all its glory. Look at how blocky it is. That's not the photo compression. That's not like because it's a JPEG. Look how crisp everything else here is. That's how it looks like to watch Game Boy Advance video. Raise your hand if you ever had one of these. I had the Dragon Ball GT one when I was a kid. And you know, there's just two strikes in one. The fact that I was watching it on this macro compressed mess. And the fact that I was watching Dragon Ball GT at all. I wish I bought the Sonic X cart. You know, it only costs like 15 bucks to go buy on eBay. Actually, maybe I'll go buy one right now. But you know, that was my project. I also upgraded my graphics card, but you know, don't worry about that. I don't have the most powerful computer I've ever had in my life. No. You're jealous! It's not that hard of a mod. You can also buy them pre-modded. I know Dominathan Nation just bought one. And they're pretty good, I will say. Place your bets. Will the case end for having Case 3 syndrome? Well, it already doesn't feel that much like filler, so I don't think so, actually. I'm gonna bet against that. I think this is an actual, like, good case. I'd understood that Professor Harebrayned was from Germany, though. Oh, is this where we're gonna get the truth?
Harebrained's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all.
Okay. Alright, I do apologize. I guess it wasn't that big of a spoiler. It's just... It's just one of those things I can't know beforehand because I don't know the story. So, I've been burned in the past by people casually mentioning spoilers for like Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. So like, I just have to be strict, or else I might let something through and I won't realize until later that it was actually a spoiler. I'm sorry if I came across as hard to anybody who mentioned that he wasn't German. I'm still gonna give him the accent though. You know, he's just been in Germany that long, he just picked it up. So you were students together?
I was in the faculty of law, of course, and he in science, so our paths rarely crossed.
The designs contrast so much. Like I'll just say that like, freaking Harebrayned doesn't even look like he's from this game. Like I mentioned, he looked like he's from Pokemon. You know, he's that simple and cartoony.
But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days.
I should probably catch up with some people I knew from college too.
I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form.
Kinda like Edgeworth. Kinda. Although in the original Japanese, the Von Karmas were American, and Edgeworth was adopted into that family. I just still find it so hilarious that they changed them to German for the English localization, only to introduce actual German people in Ace Attorney 4 with, you know, Clavier and Christoph Gavin. Man, I miss the Gavins. Why don't they appear anymore? Like, I remember one instance where he appeared in 5. Well, you know, I know why one of them doesn't appear anymore, but why doesn't Clavier appear that much anymore? He appeared once in 5 and that was it. Didn't even make so much as an appearance in 6 as far as I remember. And that's a shame. A dang shame. Half-head! No, when I play Ace Attorney 4 on stream, I gotta give him like a smooth, like, cool guy rockstar voice. Half-head. I'll work on it.
And with you, of all people, representing him.
Clavier, so good. I happen to know Windy takes a liking to him. I mean, can you blame anybody for liking Clavier? He's a good boy, one of my favorite prosecutors in the series. Only if I make it out of this office alive. Didn't expect Zeke and Bunny Brain to be good friends. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Sideline like everyone else from Apollo Justice. They just don't even want to mention the game ever existed. Come on, Capcom, give it a chance.
Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me.
What? By you? What? Did I not already know that? Did I just assume that? Oops. But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. Makes it... Again, in real law, I don't think that would be allowed for someone who knows the defendant to even be, like, a defense attorney or prosecuting attorney.
We are friends, it's true.
Then why would you do this? How could you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
It's just a... Iris, it's just a tall tale. He's fine, Soseki's fine. Need to give Clavier a sexy voice. I should. I just need to work on it. Man, do I just need to, like, listen to ASMR of sexy German men? Is that what I'm gonna be doing for research? Anyway, what's Lord Van Zeek's thinking?
The Reaper's identity.
Yeah, conflict of interest. It's why, like, when you interview jurors, you're not even supposed to... They're supposed to say whether or not they know the defendant. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean... Is it his accomplice, his apprentice?
I'm a crowned prosecutor and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them.
I'm sure you think that. But also, if that was true, we wouldn't need the court system. But that's not a true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. A little sus, but, you know, otherwise fine.
No, it was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
We haven't seen her since then, actually. Not a demigod, definitely a vampire. Die, monster! Hold on, let me do this right. Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
It is not of my hand that I am once again given flesh. I was brought here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
The same can be said of all religions.
I forget how it goes from there. No, I got it wrong. I got it backward. Like, no, you steal men's souls is met with...
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you! Die! I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this.
He's just Edgeworth. I mean, if this is their attempt to remake Edgeworth, possibly this is the greatest success they've had at doing so far. Because I still appreciate Van Zieks as a character, and the only missing piece I felt up until now in the games was you haven't really experienced him outside of court, and therefore as just a person until now. So, you know, this is his chance to show me what he's got.
If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It is not my work. That they are once again rended from their flesh.
I think the story rhythm of the main series is weird since Apollo Justice. They just have not really decided what they want to do ever since Game 4. I think 6 is a step in the right direction, but 5 was just way too much of a diversion for me. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way. The best Edgeworth since Edgeworth. Yeah, pretty much.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it was true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Oh.
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives.
I suppose that's one benefit. Could also mean that they're trying harder to hide their evidence. Do you mean to say?
I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor.
Even if it means attacks on your life, that's actually kind of respectable. Jeez. Dude loves his job, I suppose. Oh, that's right, I heard about that, Windy. Shu Takumi had a whole backstory for Clavier and Kristoff, but never actually put it in the games. And I don't know if they ever will. Because, you know, it seems like they focused a lot more on Apollo Justice's backstory when we never really asked for it. In both 5 and 6, he just got, like, extra backstories. I'm not gonna, like, say too much more than that. I'm just gonna say, like, they really wanted to apologize for Apollo Justice, I suppose. It's fine. It's fine. He's okay. He's okay where he is. You don't... Capcom, please. Investigation series are well done. Yeah, I do like investigations. I think they keep the spirit of the original trilogy, at least. But it's putting you in danger! You could be killed! Jamspear says, spoilers for the Great Ace Attorney? If not, go ahead, lay it on you. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh! Was Christoph Gavin's Black Cyclops ever explained? No. Also, that's kind of spoilers for Apollo Justice, but like... At this point, if you're watching Great Ace Attorney, I guess I can assume you've watched Apollo. Sorry, I didn't even warn of spoilers. But, if they never got explained, I guess it's not a spoiler? Let's just say they're never explained.
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Lord Van Zieks. Well, dang. It's almost endearing, but also just unnecessary. Like, he really believes, like, it's endearing that he'd go to such lengths for his own job, but also because that's interesting, because it's because he truly believes that people are guilty scum of the earth. So that part doesn't weigh too well on his character. I think if anything, that's his character flaw, that he really is quick to judge people negatively. Maybe because of the fact he's been hurt in the past. I can see how that becomes like the point that like ties it all together. But as it stands right now, he's kind of a butt who's at the very least, willing to reverse his decisions if good evidence is provided. I can at least give him that. If someone disagrees with me all the time, but is willing to hear my point out, I appreciate that person a lot more than somebody who, I don't know, agrees with me all the time just because to agree with me and not because like they're actually up for discussion. Kind of makes it sound like I just have an echo and I'm not like actually talking to somebody, you know? Although that has nothing to do with prosecutors, so I don't really think that's a good analogy to bring up. Oh, Lord Vensink's about the article in the paper.
Ah, yes, it seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Man, that reporter had excellent timing. It's almost like Spider-Man himself took the shot.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them.
But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. Oh. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it?
As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice? Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? He didn't say no. You're teaching him the glory of different wines and how to appreciate their scents and flavors. And also the perfect toss of the wine glass. The perfect cast.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor.
He's not creepy at all, no. Also, is that a little death ray? That's a model of the teleportation device that is the current subject of this case. Basically, a scientist who lives in Germany, but is not German, invented a teleporter that, as you can probably guess, did the part of atomizing somebody, but did not do the part of reassembling them at the destination, so they're counting it as murder. It's interesting. I bet it's just like a trapdoor and it's not a real like teleporter. But you know, that's just this is a little model of it. It does kind of look like a death ray.
So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Still soft-spoken, taking notes. Take some notes. They're only my advice. I don't claim to be an expert, but if I could help in any way.
Like you are to Hurley then, Runo.
I don't want to be a detective. Do I? I want to be Gumshoe, that's who I want to be. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective. You want a death ray? Now hold on, worst company. Don't make me have to defend you in court.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It
looks like he's wearing some kind of mask.
On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
But why were you agreed to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? He do be looking kind of sus. He's a sussy baka.
Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be good reason for his actions.
I suppose you're right. Hey, he moves! Oh god, his eyes! He looks like Skull from Persona 5. Yo, hello. How you doing? Sus.
The task is complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
you looking at? What you looking at? Huh? Huh?
You must strong her along.
Nice to meet you. Is this a case if you see him, he has to kill you? I hope not. Back to work again. Only someone this cool could be Zanzix's apprentice. So what you're saying is it is Edgeworth. That was really strange, though. I never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed. And yet, somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Eh?
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Maybe it's Sholmes? Maybe it's Gina Lestrade? Maybe it's Soseki Natsume? Oh, I see. That chin, though.
Why are you so interested to be in my apprentice anyway?
No, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. Wait, what? Flawless posture. Are we even sure that's a guy? No way. No way. How long ago did you take this apprentice? How long ago?
Ah, yes. There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
That Nipponese man, is he faring well? Is he eating? Send him my regards and this spot of tea.
What? Sorry? I think I know who Ryunosuke is thinking about. But, like, now I don't want to say it in case it's right. And I don't think I will say it. You guys can feel free to guess, but I'll just, like, not read it out loud.
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters.
Yeah, he do be gotten those. To be fair, he suffered from gas poisoning a little bit. Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean? By the way, how do you think will you think it was weird to have John Watson as a protagonist in a Sherlock Holmes show? I actually have not watched any of the Sherlock Holmes shows. Are you talking about the one with Benedict Cumberbatch or the one with Robert Downey Jr.? Or maybe another one. Probably another one. I have not watched any of them, to be completely honest. But I can guess. Having not seen any of them, maybe I shouldn't guess. But I can guess they might have been trying to do, pull a Metal Gear Solid 2 type thing, where if you see the quote-unquote main character from a second kind of third-person perspective, like you're playing and or following somebody who is following in the main character's footsteps, it becomes easier to frame the main character as someone mysterious and or well-experienced or works in ways that you can't immediately understand. Because if you do follow them, you have the burden of explaining it to the audience. If you're the second person, you're like the perspective of someone trying to figure out that first person. I don't know, that's my guess. Or you could be John Watson so you can teleport around. Teleporter! Yeah. Gotta go. Alright, William Shakespeare. Well, have a good night. Thanks for coming on by. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Also, Unreal Jackal, you're right. I think it makes sense that we would probably relate more to Watson than Holmes, since Holmes is definitely like the genius man, and Watson is just your everybody who tags along. You know. Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Nuno.
Well, suck it. No. I mean, he'd probably be like, well, yes, that is me. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case.
Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. See, he's not that bad. When he's not trying to argue against me. I can't believe he's asking after Soseki-san. After a Nipponese. Maybe he's just putting on a show for the court. Which doesn't make it, again, doesn't make it good. But also, like, adds a little bit of depth to his character. I don't know if I like the explanation that he's just, like, putting on a racist show. Because that's a little performative. It's almost like a politician, but I'm not sure whether or not I feel happy about that or worried.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you?
Just checking to make sure Soseki isn't super dead. Just making sure that his reputation doesn't precede him. This one time.
That's a turn for the books.
Mad scientist? You mean Professor Harebrayned? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zieks, I think. Ah, so now we get the opportunity to ask Harebrayned something a little personal, because we wouldn't have known about his relationship. Also, I noticed that we're not getting a single bit of evidence. So if we go directly into court with like zero to work on, well, I definitely didn't expect it to be a one-day trial, but now it's really going to not be a one-day trial. So, Mr. Harry, the Reaper's varsity years. That's a nice way to phrase it. Watson's point of view makes it so the audience can be left guessing over how Holmes is solving the case. Yeah, that element of mystery. I think a good, like, detective show and/or book doesn't tell the audience everything. You know, just like Ace Attorney. They leave it out to the audience to figure it out so they feel smart, even if it is, like, all of the evidence pointing towards one specific thing. And if you happen to figure out earlier, then you feel super smart. I understand Lord Van Zieks is a friend of yours from your university days, and that you're not even actually German.
Yes, that's right. But you know, I've been in the country for so long. I just adopted the accent. Plus, it's super fun to do. You should try it sometime.
Oh, really? I understand you were an acquaintance.
You'll get it sometime. You'll get it. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all around nice fellow, really.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. Yeah, it could very well be that Van Zieks is just curious whether or not Natsume died. And nothing more than that. I like to think he's a little more of a person, but the primary reason might just be because wondering,
Hey, that Natsume chap, is he dead? He's not dead, is he? Just asking.
I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor Baroque Van Zieks. Why does it feel like I'm doing a higher-pitched Robin Atkin-Downs German voice? Because I am doing the medic from TF2, basically. But also higher-pitched so I don't just fall into, like, Franziska von Karma territory when I was playing Ace Attorney Investigations. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Reno.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he's the little darling of the Van Zieks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
Origins?
I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood.
So that painting must have been his father. Spitting image, wow. Schoolboy Reaper. Oh yeah,
Anyone who he defeated at dodgeball back in the day mysteriously was absent the next school day and never returned.
Did they die there too?
No, they transferred to another school from the embarrassment.
Oh. Little darling?
Little darling. It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become.
His accent's turning slightly Austrian. I blame it on the fact that I've been watching a lot of clips of Arnold Schwarzenegger recently. I watched a compilation of every time he said, "I'll be back" in a movie. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm back. Told you I'd be back.
The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yes, that's right.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Okay, now he's starting to really sound like Edgeworth. Like, okay, hearing from his old schoolmate that, oh, he used to be nice back then. I don't know what happened. Something changed him. Oh, let me guess, his... Spoilers for Ace Attorney 1, I guess? Let me guess, his dad died in an elevator? I'm sorry, a lift? Did they have elevators in the 1900s? Late 1800s? Really? What sort of event? How goes the case? Well, I know nothing. And this, not German scientist is having a breakdown. How are you doing?
Ah! His father died in an elevator? What's an elevator?
Well, you're the scientist. You invent it.
I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course. You just watched the 2013 Sherlock Holmes show from Russia. Oh, yeah, that one. Huh. Well, I've heard good things about it. Just another one of those shows where, like, they probably did it to not be sued by the Conan Doyle estate. So, unfortunate, but a good way to creatively get around it, I think. I should watch it.
If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zees will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow.
He's gonna find out, though.
Oh.
Well, guess that's about it. Sounds like there's much to go off. So much evidence. Yeah, you know, this is the only piece of evidence I've gotten, and I think it's about to be the first day of trial. I think this may be the least I've ever gone on. At least evidence I've started with in an Ace Attorney trial that, like, had an investigation day. Woof! Good luck to us. Court record empty, mind empty, thoughts empty.
So, Professor, why are we trying to solve an inheritance dispute?
Well, Luke, my boy, we're not from this game.
Let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly.
This newspaper's gonna flip this whole case around, I bet. No, easiest case ever. Anytime the judge asks, do you have evidence? I'm like, well, I have one piece of evidence, so I better show it. The only answer.
The huge explosion that occurred yesterday. That was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work? Is that correct?
What's all this? What are all these things appearing? What are these locks and chains? Uh-oh. I think the professor is hiding something. I haven't started an investigation yet. Oh, okay. I'm just assuming because it feels like this is the point where the game's like, all right, time for trial. So, I'm actually happy to know that there's investigation, which probably means right after this is a good place to end for today. So, well, yeah, let's wrap it up.
You had no intent to harm the victim, right? As correct as 2 squared is 4. I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished as a machine of my own invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this. But still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life. Not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, it's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. Please, Danka. Do believe me. Do believe in my hypothesis. Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that. All my life.
And Sholmes is always talking about it. What is discovery? What is detective work but science? Just, you know, you were using your scientific method on empirical evidence rather than your own experiments, eh? I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories. But I do believe you. And I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please! Oh. Then I went to live in Germany after I graduated. I learned something very important. Nationality, clash. Lineage, I almost thought they said lingerie. Lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
All right, Bruno. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Oh my goodness. What a cliffhanger then. Sorry? Time to go to Disneyland.
Well, that's what the incident happened, isn't it?
Wow. We get to investigate two birds with one stone. We don't kill birds here. No, especially not chickens. Sapcast, thanks for the follow. Yes, I suppose that's true. Oh, time to investigate. At last. Wow, 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 wee. New location has been added. Experimentation stage. I feel like there's going to be a huge can of worms opening up as soon as we set foot at the Great Exhibition. So, given that it's past 3 hours of stream time at least, I think this is the perfect time to leave it for today. Don't worry, we're going to be continuing the investigation tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, Wednesday. But tomorrow, expect a YouTube recording of the next escapade for Great Ace Attorney 1. I've been doing those as sort of filler in between our Monday, Wednesday streams, and I think it's been working out. So, sorry to keep you all hanging, but I gotta leave it here for now. Save! Oh my goodness, departed soul. So it's really just a dude being vaporized, and we're just saying he's been turned into a ghost. But the return, though. Ooh, someone's coming back from being vaporized? Maybe. I don't know. You think Van Zeek's father was killed by someone who's Japanese? I don't think that's it. That would be a little too on the nose for both his feelings against the Nipponese as well as his origin story, but I'm sure it's something heart-wrenching. I'm sure it is. Thanks for streaming. You're welcome. And let's go. It's been fun. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Windy. Still soft-spoken as well. AOL, Hector, Satoru, Soul Sapphire. You know, I usually do that after the stream, but I just wanted to make sure everyone, you know, got the message that I do appreciate everybody. Whether you're here right now live on stream or on the YouTube video, I see you. I appreciate you. I thank you for those comments in the YouTube channel description too. I may not always respond to them, but I do read them and take into account the suggestions you guys give, you know? Unreal Jackal as well. Court record empty. Worst company. Everybody. Yeah. So, time for more Rants Magazine. Yeah, that's what they're calling the episodes, eh? Escapades, rather. So let's do the art. We're doing the post-stream now. For those of y'all who don't know, we're just having a chill wind down. And I'll have you know that the 1 minute sus redemption does work on this screen now.
Thank you.
So you know. There is art today. Rather, art from the weekend that I can show now. I did play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on stream, and I do a plan to play the original N64 version eventually. I played the 3DS version with a mod that makes it like the N64 one, but I feel like it's not quite as N64-like as I wanted. So, given that, from Hectacular Hector, I'm sus! We got a new render of the Majora's Mask. Look at that. I like the long talon-like spikes it's got. Because I've always liked how Majora's Mask, when it flies around, it's got like, it kind of looks like a bird. How the horns just flap around. Makes it look alive, like a bug or something. It's so creepy and it's pretty good. I like what you done. Let me just put it on Kazuya and Sunaror over here. Let's bless him with cursive power. Yeah, good work. And thanks for the art. As always, if you have art for the stream, post it to the Discord or tweet it at me. Oh. And I'll put it up. I may even keep it in the room for a while. Yeah. And Haru as well, thanks for being here. Everybody. As always, if you haven't already, if you're new, consider giving me a follow on Twitch to catch me live next time I play. And the YouTube VOD, if you wanna catch up real fast on the game up until now, that's the perfect place. Links are on the YouTube. Thanks for the chicken. Thanks for the sad yellow Pikachu. And Twitter, Discord, links are all there. All that good stuff. And if you're going to sleep, have a good night. And stay clucky, y'all. Stay clucky. And bye-bye.